12 Laws of Fat Burning. Need to see your six-pack again, or interestingly, you'll discover all you have to know to get super incline in 12 basic tenets. 12 shosh, calories, and burn. Step 1 revolves around simple math. You must eat fewer calories than your body is accustomed to in order to drop body fat. When a calorie shortfall is created, the body responds by digging into body fat reserves to make up the difference. And presto, you grow leaner. All other laws aside, this one heads the list every time, no matter what dietary approach you take. Do this. Most guys who are fairly active and exercise regularly burn about 18 calories per pound of body weight or more per day. On that basis, a 200-pounder would consume 3,600 calories daily. To start dropping body fat, reduce your calories to between 14 and 16 per pound of body weight per day on workout days, or 2,800 to 3,200 calories daily. On non-workout days, drop to about 12 calories per pound per day, 2,400 calories for the guy who's 200 pounds. The easiest way to cut calories? Eliminate excess dietary fat, meaning no butter, oils, salad dressings, low-fat or fat-free dressings are okay. Remove the skin from chicken, substitute egg whites for most of your whole eggs, avoid whole milk dairy products, and ditch marbled red meats such as ribeye for lean cuts such as flank. Keep some healthy fats in your diet, such as salmon, mixed nuts, peanut butter, and avocados. To curtail carbohydrates. To curtail carbohydrates. Though calorie control is a must, hormonal control is nearly as important. Coupled with calories, hormones govern fat burning. Suppress fat-storing hormones and you can expect a significant amount of body fat to melt away. The ideal way to control these hormones is to keep your carbohydrate intake in check, since CARBs kick up insulin, a hormone that inhibits fat breakdown and drives fat storage. Eat fewer CARBs and insulin levels tend to moderate, leading to fat loss. Of course, not all carbohydrates are equal. In short, fast-digesting CARBs tend to create a large insulin burst, leading to more potential fat gain. These CARBs include white bread, most cold cereals, any sweets, rice cakes, white rice and white potatoes. Conversely, oatmeal, sweet potatoes and legumes don't cause much of an insulin rise, so these should make up the vast majority of your CARB consumption. The common sense approach is to have your carbohydrate portions. If you tend to eat a large bagel for breakfast, eat only half and save the rest for tomorrow, or simply eat a smaller bagel. If you typically eat 2 cups of pasta at dinner, eat just 1. In time, you'll see the effects of insulin control. As for carb choices, the aforementioned bagel should be 100% whole wheat, not white. At all times during the day, in fact, choose whole grain foods over refined ones, the only exception being immediately after a workout, when fast-digesting carbs reign supreme for boosting insulin and replenishing muscle glycogen stores. See Law 8. Keep carbs to less than 2 grams per pound of body weight per day. 3. Stress protein. 3. Stress protein. Is a calorie truly a calorie? Not always, because different types of calories can affect your body and your results differently. Dietary fat, for example, is more fattening than protein or carbs because it's less likely to be used to build your body. Granted, carbs can potentially make you fat, but they also directly fuel your training. Protein? That's a no-brainer, it builds muscle. Fat does neither, but it isn't useless. Moderate amounts of it support vitamin absorption and help manufacture hormones. But if you're trying to get ripped, you must minimize your consumption of fat. Protein, on the other hand, not only adds to your muscle, key in boosting the metabolism, but actually increases your metabolism more directly. The body burns more calories processing protein than it burns to process carbs or fat, known as the thermic effect of food. That's the main reason diets that include a lot of protein result in greater fat loss than low-protein diets, even when both diets contain the same amount of calories. Do this. We can't harp on this advice too much. Eat at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight every day. Your major protein sources should be lean meats, chicken, steak, turkey breast, tuna, egg whites. The yolks contain the fat, so discard most of them when you're trying to lose fat. Protein powder, whey or casein, and low-fat cottage cheese. As for fat, limit it to 20% to 30% of your total daily caloric intake. 4. Never eat crab by themselves. 4. Never eat crab by themselves. At the point when endeavoring to lose muscle to fat quotients, insulin control is pivotal. The aggregate sum of insulin discharged by the body isn't identified with exactly what number of starches you eat, however how quick those carbs are processed. Refined carbs process rapidly, raising insulin levels generously, which is the reason you ought to maintain a strategic distance from them. In any case, on the off chance that you do happen to eat, say, a bowl of frosty oat, commonly a quick processing carbs, you can in any case take measures to guarantee those carbs process all the more gradually. This will bring about less insulin to be discharged and consequently have less of an effect on your capacity to copy fat. Do this. One approach to ease back assimilation is to eat carbs with protein and little measures of fat. Never eat carbs alone. Go with that bowl of oat, for instance, with fried egg whites or curds. On the other hand, you could eat a lot of vegetables, for example, broccoli, cauliflower, green beans, and green servings of mixed greens, with your suppers. These sustenances quite the breakdown and assimilation rate of all starches. 5. Never eat carbs before bed. 5. Never eat carbs before bed. By and by, it's about hormones. During the evening your insulin affectability diminishes, which means your body must discharge more insulin than expected to put any sugars you eat around evening time to use in the body. What's more, at this point you realize that higher insulin levels can diminish fat blazing and improve fat stockpiling. Moreover, the body actually creates a fat-freeing hormone called development hormone, GH, inside the underlying hour and a half of rest. GH expands fat blazing as well as is required to fabricate mass and reinforce the insusceptible framework. However, carbs put a damper on GH discharge, so it's optimal to go to bed under one of two situations: on an unfilled stomach or, far and away superior, having expended just protein, no carbs. This permits blood glucose, the innovative name for processed carbs flowing in the blood, to stay low, which encourages the ascent in nighttime GH creation. Do this. Try not to eat anything around 3 hours before bed. A superior alternative is to eat just protein dinners the last 4 hours before bed, with one protein feast promptly before sleep time that incorporates just protein, for example, a casein shake, low-fat curds, or chicken bosom. You can, be that as it may, eat a little serving of vegetables here on the off chance that you wish. 6. Use nitric oxide at night. 6. Use nitric oxide at night. Nitric oxide, NO, is the aggravate that opens everything up and, as anyone might expect, it's one of the best fat blazing items available. No backings the pump when taken before preparing, improving blood stream to muscles by permitting more blood to advance toward tissues, including muscles, which can amplify hypertrophy and help digestion system. This Argentine-based supplement is additionally compelling when taken before bed, when it can apply a significant surge in GH levels and bolster fat blazing. Do this, inside 30 hours of sleep time each night. Take a 5 to 10 gram dosage of a nitric oxide supplement that doesn't contain caffeine on an unfilled stomach. 7. Eat more meals per day. 7. Eat more meals per day. Sure, calories and hormones can determine whether your body deposits food into muscle or as body fat, but meal frequency, or how many times you eat each day, affects your overall metabolism. Every time you eat, the body's calorie-burning engine, also known as metabolism, slightly increases. This is especially true for meals that contain protein. So if you eat 6 times a day, you'll experience 6 metabolic surges a day, rather than just 4 if you eat only 4 times a day. And, of course, eating 7 or 8 times per day would be even better than 6. This is one way to lean out without having to drastically reduce calories. Frequent feedings tend to increase the chance that what you eat will make its way into muscle tissue rather than being packed away as body fat. Do this: eat 6 to 8 small meals per day, spaced 2 to 3 hours apart. Don't go longer than 3 hours without eating. Your body will go into starvation mode, which can cause you to store body fat and makes it more likely that you'll overeat at your next meal. Speaking of overeating, just because you're consuming more meals doesn't mean you should be taking in more total calories. Determine your ideal daily caloric intake for fat burning, see Rule 1, and divide that more or less evenly between your 6 to 8 meals. 8. Prioritize the post-training meal. 8. Prioritize the post-training meal. After you prepare, it's hard to pick up muscle-to-fat quotients. Why? Drained, split-down muscles splash up both protein and sugars for development and recuperation. On the off chance that you eat too little as of now, you may really set yourself back by obstructing recuperation. Supporting recuperation and development really builds digestion system, while hindering it moderates digestion system. As far as impelling recuperation and development, pretty much the most counterproductive thing you can do after a hard workout is starve yourself. Do this: devour 30 to 40 grams of protein powder, for example, whey powder, and casein, alongside 60 to 80 grams of quick processing carbs, an extensive heated potato, 4 to 5 cuts of white bread, or a huge games drink, for example, Gatorade, at the earliest opportunity inside an hour in the wake of preparing. 9. Avoid fast carbs pre-workout. 9. Avoid fast carbs pre-workout. When you hit the rec center, the body discharges a fat-freeing flag bearer called epinephrine, which appends itself to fat cells and permits fat to be copied as fuel. What's more, you got it, sugars become possibly the most important factor here. Refined carbs devoured before preparing stifle the workout, and supplement-prompted ascend in epinephrine, contrasted with eating similar measure of slower processing carbs. Refined carbs additionally help insulin levels, promote hampering fat blazing amid the workout. Main concern: stay away from refined carbs by and large before preparing. Do this 15 to 30 minutes, or less, before preparing. Expend 20 grams of protein powder in a whey shake or other protein powder source and 30 to 40 grams of sugars to help you prepare hard completely through your workout. Stay with moderate processing carbs here, for example, oat grain, oats, rye or entire wheat bread, natural product, or sweet potatoes. On non-workout days, eat that dinner as a nibble and drop your post-workout nourishing. 10. Empty your glycogen stores once every 2 weeks. 10. Empty your glycogen stores once every 2 weeks. Glycogen is the unused and put away type of sugars in muscles. At the point when glycogen stores start to crest from eating a lot of carbs, the body overhauls its fat putting away capacity. On the other hand, as glycogen stores are exhausted, fat blazing increments. One approach to begin the fat smoldering procedure is to go to a great degree low carb on 2 successive days each couple of weeks. This guarantees you take advantage of your glycogen stores for fuel, which flags the body to smolder more fat. Do this. Constrain your aggregate carbs on 2 back-to-back days at regular intervals or so to under 100 grams for every day. This will oblige you to know what number of grams of sugars are in the sustenances you eat and have the teach to be extremely strict on your admission. Your perseverance will be compensated with a recognizable contrast in muscle-to-fat ratios. Following 2 days, you can come back to a more typical, however not extreme, carb admission. 11. Train until you're beat, not dead. 11. Train until you're beat, not dead. It's the well-established question, what number sets do you need, and what amount of time would it be advisable for you to spend in the rec center every day? The answer differs from individual to individual, yet when blazing fat is the essential objective, a great dependable guideline is to prepare until you're pretty beat up. However, not to the point where you're straightened and completely depleted. That kind of kamikaze preparing may fulfill your psyche, however it decimates your anabolic hormones. Genuine fat misfortune obliges you to hold bulk, the body's essential metabolic driver. On the off chance that you go over the edge in the exercise center, testosterone and development hormone go into free fall, and your digestion system takes action accordingly. Do this. Genuine fat misfortune obliges you to hold bulk, the body's essential metabolic driver. On the off chance that you go over the edge in the rec center, testosterone and development hormone go into free fall, and your digestion system sticks to this same pattern. 12. Do cardio at the right time. 12. Do cardio at the right time. Cardio applies 2 advantages. It blazes calories and influences hormone levels in the body. In particular, cardio raises levels of norepinephrine. However, when you do cardio has a major effect in how your body handles the hormonal changes. Cardio on a void stomach permits norepinephrine to promptly target fat cells, which triggers maximal fat smoldering. On the other side, on the off chance that you eat before doing cardio, and especially in the event that you eat carbs, the fat-blocking hormone insulin rises, making your body less viable at blazing fat. Do this. To guarantee that your body is in ideal fat blazing mode, do 30 hours of cardio first thing in the morning before breakfast 4 to 6 days for every week. Feel free, be that as it may, to drink your morning espresso, without cream or sugar, and take 6 to 10 grams of blended amino acids or a little measure of whey protein powder blended in water in advance. The caffeine will help you blaze more fat, as will the amino acids, whether from a supplement or whey protein, as research from Kanazawa University in Japan has found. The aminos will likewise anticipate muscle breakdown amid cardio. End for day. Thanks for watching this video. The next time you're in the midst of so many good videos will be presented. I pray to God to stay healthy until then. Please subscribe this channels for next to the video updates and share this videos with your friends. Best of luck friends.